helped him here into a strange house and a strange bed. He knew he should be grateful for that, but right now all he felt was empty and deeply wrong. This was a world he didn't know, one in which he was the only surviving Brightwell son, half a twin. He'd have taken large bets that Brendan would have been the one to survive everything and come through stronger, and his brother would have bet even more on it. The world seemed so quiet without him. "Then you'll just have to be louder, you moping idiot." He could almost hear his brother saying that with his usual cocky smirk. "God knows you always acted like you wished you'd been an only child." "No, I didn't," he said out loud, though he instantly knew it for a lie and was ashamed of it, then even more ashamed when a voice came out of the darkness near the far corner. "Awake, Brightwell? About time." There was a rustle of cloth, and a dim greenish glow startled to kindle, then brighten. The glow lamp sat next to Scholar Christopher Wolfe, who looked like death, and also like he'd bite the head off the first person to say he looked tired. In short, his usual sunny disposition. "Dreams?" "No," Jess lied. He tried to slow down his still pounding heart. "What are you doing here?" "We drew lots as to who would be your nursemaid this evening, and I lost." Wolfe rose to his feet. He'd changed into black scholar's robes, a liquidly flowing silk that made him seem part of the shadows, except for the grey in his shoulder-length hair and his pale skin. He paused at Jess's bedside and looked at him with cool assessment. "You lost someone precious to you, I understand, but we don't have time to indulge your grief. There's work to be done, and fewer of us now to do it." Jess felt no impulse to care. "I'm surprised you think I'm useful." "Self-pity doesn't become you, boy. I'll be leaving now. The world doesn't stop because the one you loved is no longer in it." Jess almost snapped, "What do you know about it?" But he stopped himself. Wolfe had lost many people. He'd seen his own mother die. He understood. So Jess swallowed his irrational anger and said, "Where are you going?" Not we. He hadn't yet decided whether staying in this bed would be his best idea. "The office of the Archivist," Wolfe said. "You've been there. I could use help in locating his secure records." The office. Jess blinked and saw the place, a magnificent space with automaton guards standing silent guard in alcoves. The view of the Alexandrian harbour dominating the windows. A peaceful place. He wondered if they'd managed to scrub the dead assistant's blood out of the floor yet. The Archivist had ordered her killed just to punish him. And Brendan. Brendan. The last time he'd been in that office, Brendan had been with him. Jess swallowed against a wave of disorientation and nausea and sat upright. Someone, Thomas again, had helped him out of his bloody clothes and into clean ones. An informal High Garda uniform, the kind soldiers wore at leisure in the barracks. Soft as pyjamas. It would do. He swung his legs out of bed and paused there, breathing deeply. He felt unwell. Not a specific pain he could land on, just a general malaise, an ache that threaded through every muscle and every nerve. Shock, he supposed, or just the accumulated stress of the past few days. It might even be grief. Did grief hurt this way, like sickness? Up. Wolfe's voice was unexpectedly kind, warm. "I know how difficult that is, but there is no other way but onward." Jess nodded and stood up. He found his boots, neatly placed at the foot of the bed, and slid them on. His High Garda weapons belt was nearby, with his sidearm still in place, heavy and lethal, and he felt a bit of comfort as it settled on his hip. We're at war. It felt like he'd always been at war. His family had always warred with the Great Library, and then he'd fought for a place inside it. Then he'd fought to preserve the dream of the Great Library, and for the first time he wondered what peace would really feel like. His hair was a spiky mess. He ran his fingers through it and ignored it when it refused to comply. "All right," he said. "I'm ready." Wolfe could have said anything to that. Jess expected something dismissive and caustic, but Wolfe just put his hand on Jess's shoulder, nodded, and led the way. The house, Jess thought, must have belonged to a scholar. There was a cluster of black-robed scholars around a wide table in the main room, anxiously chattering in Greek, which must have been the only language they had in common. A tall man with skin so dark it took on a cobalt tones. A small, elegant, young...